Hello, everybody. This is the resurrection of the Weston and Westeros podcast.
Woo!
Of the Game of Thrones season 4.
Woo!
After my laptop broke, we took like 3 months off.
We took
a while off. Yeah.
Hiatus.
I just got a new laptop, I think, last week, and it's sweet. It's a Dell Inspiron 15. I threw an extra I in there. If you need a new laptop and you only have like $300, this is the one to get. You'll probably notice that our sound quality is better too because my laptop's not 8 years old and an Acer and whatnot. But
Acer. That just sounds like a fucking...
It was some Taiwanese company.
Bargain brand.
I was so poor back then. Anywho, yeah, we left you at episode 3 of season 4. That was the last one we left you with, and that was in, I think, April, around the end of April because it was my sister's birthday.
It was right after school got out.
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm. So that was the last one we had you do. So what we're gonna do is just continue where we were. We'll post these in order. This is for episode 4. I'll put it in the little YouTube link and everything to make sure everybody can follow along if you're behind or whatever. And then we're just gonna do 4 through 10. We'll probably record. We're recording 2 tonight. We're probably gonna record some more, like in bunches. And then by the end of the summer, you'll be all caught up and you can listen to it. And then by next season, we should be having an easier time because I think we're going to have more free time and no school and like career-style jobs. I'll be done with my master's in April.
Yeah, I'll be done with my bachelor's in December.
Nice. So
God willing.
If you want to send us some treats because we're finishing our degrees, you can send them to. I'll give you an address that you can send them to.
Mm-hmm. Do a P.O. box.
Right, yeah.
A lot of people listen to this. You never know what type of people are going to be listening to it.
Right. I feel you. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to just go from 4 through 10. Probably cut down a little bit on the time. We got up to almost an hour the last time. That was a lot.
Didn't we go past an hour?
It was 51 minutes. I listened to all the old ones this week. So
yeah, that was long.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like it, though. Mm-mm. Like, when you're talking about it,
right?
It's fucking Game of Thrones, man. Like, I could talk about this shit. I do talk about this shit all day anyways.
And we do have... Adam did read the books again, so maybe we won't have so many problems remembering everybody's name. Mary said in the last episode I had her listen to it, and she said there were not any problems, so...
Not a single one?
Yeah, not one.
Woo!
Yeah, that was pretty good. Except
that or Mary's just losing her touch. She's going senile on us.
Speaking of Mary, we're going to try to get her up here for a couple episodes this year. I think... She wants to come up and visit me in Kalamazoo, so we're going to try to do episode 9 and 10 with her, because a lot of shit happens in 9 and 10.
Yeah.
We're going to assume that you've already seen the whole season, but we're going to act like you haven't, just in case some people are just catching up or whatever. We're not going to give any spoilers away for the end of the year, so... Alright, let's start talking about the episode. Started out with... Who is this?
Grey Worm.
And, yeah,
Miss
with
Sandy.
Miss Sandy. Yeah, she's. You get to see more of her this year.
Yeah, it gets real with Miss Sandy later in a very real sense.
And what sucks with Grey Worm is that she obviously likes him. He doesn't have a penis.
Yeah, and he obviously likes her too. So I mean, I kind of wonder.
No penis.
I know he has no penis and no balls, but is there like a nub? Like a stump that he can like get some friction going on.
Is there any way we can get this guy laid?
Yeah.
Like fictionally? That's the big thing.
They're both such beautiful brown people. Like, they have that nice shade of like mocha, like it's the perfect blend. Mm-hmm. And it just sucks that it's never gonna happen.
Right.
Maybe he's faking it. Maybe he really has a massive penis.
That would be really. That would be quite the spoiler, I think. So, but yeah. So it started out with that. It was pretty good. She's learning how to teach him how to read.
Teach him how to read, which never happens.
Yeah, in the books, no.
But that's okay.
Yeah, you need some scenes to like build like normal characters and shit. So
it's cool. The show kind of expounds.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
that's probably a word.
Expounds on some characters that you don't really hear so much about. Mm-hmm. Shit gets changed up. So if you have read the books, the show is still worth watching. Just because
and I'm glad
it is different.
Yeah, I'm glad they do that because the first 2 seasons, I didn't read the books. I was in the process of reading the books, but I watched season 1 in about a day and a half, and then I waited for season 2 to come out. But I read book 1, and I wasn't done with book 1 before season 2 came out, and then so it was like everything was still a surprise. Like when Renly got killed, I was shocked. But like now it's like not so much. But I think with this, I hope they change it up a little bit and makes it a little different.
I've been shocked a few times in season 4.
Season 4, they're really starting to move away.
They are.
Yeah.
It's getting weird. Shit's getting weird.
Yeah.
So anyways, they go to Marine. They take the city in a similar but not identical way. They break in, the Unsullied break in, and they give the slaves weapons, and the slaves...
The slave uprising, yeah.
They stab people. Daenerys goes full just like rage and nails all the guys up.
Right. Yeah, she's pissed. Even Barristan was like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you shouldn't be such a dick. And she's like, wait, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to kill, like, everybody.
She's like, just let me be a cunt just this once, Barristan. You can lecture me later.
Right. I think that's what we got from Dany this episode. It was really light on her. They have to, like, really slow down with her because she's not in the book so much. In Feast for Crows, and by so much I mean she's not at all.
Yeah,
so she's like they gotta like slow it down a little bit.
That is true. Like they gotta plan this around the books when they they have to take place at the same time. But have totally.
Well, Reek's not in Storm of Swords. I don't think Reek's pretty much near the end, like near the end of the books that we're at right now.
Yeah,
and Reek for a while. I don't know if it was because I was bad or I'm not as good as Mary, but I didn't know it was Theon right away. I thought it was like another character. And then I'm like, oh, like halfway through he's like, oh, it's Theon. He's just so fucked up.
I knew it was Theon pretty quick.
Yeah, you and Mary read it so well, so.
Yeah. Well, I just read it a lot. She reads it well. I read it a lot.
Right.
Big difference.
And then they had a scene with Littlefinger and Sansa.
Littlefinger. Hello, Sansa.
That shit is getting so good. He's so evil. It's like it's so funny now.
I don't know if I already talked about this in the podcast, but
say it again. I don't give a fuck.
His voice cracks me up. I think he always sounds like he's in the middle of just the most evil plot. just in his everyday talking voice. I could see him like waking up and being like, "Good morning, mother. I'd like some scrambled eggs and some orange juice."
What's funny is he's becoming like the worst bad guy. Like everybody hates Joffrey. Really, Joffrey was pretty harmless. Like
he couldn't do anything. He didn't kill anybody. Do anything.
Right. So then they had Littlefinger and everything, and then Sansa was on the ship, and she's like, "You're an awful person," and he's like, "Oh, but I don't have any friends that are like me, so I can do whatever I want."
He's like, "I don't want friends like me."
And you could tell, like, I feel so bad for her now. Like, her life's, like, so shitty now. It's gotten so much worse than the beginning of the show.
Yeah, better than it could be, though.
Yeah.
Better Littlefinger than Joffrey.
Yeah, that's true.
At least he's smart and he kind of, like, loves her a little bit.
Speaking of Littlefinger and Joffrey and everything, we find out who killed Joffrey this episode, in case you were wondering.
I mean, it's heavily alluded to. Like, yeah, we pretty much find out.
Right. It wasn't Tyrion. If that was your guess, you lose. It was.
If that was your guess, you're stupid. For one thing.
Right.
And fuck you.
But
I'm just kidding. You're great.
They had
It's kind of adorable if somebody actually thought it was Tyrion.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, aw, I'm stupid.
Remember when they had
Jack Eyesbones. That's a good word.
When they had Who Shot Mr. Burns? And it ended up being Maggie. You remember that?
Yeah, that was great.
What happens if they had the guessing contest with Joffrey? Like, who killed Joffrey? Everybody guessed it.
I never, ever would have guessed the Queen of Thorns.
Right, yeah. Olenna killed the shit out of him. But it makes sense because they came up and they're like, hey, Sansa, what should we know about Joffrey? And she's like, oh, he's so brave and kind. And she's like, no, bitch, tell me what you really think. And she's like,
he's a monster.
Yeah, he's the worst. He's gonna kill us all.
He yelled at me. He makes me look at my dead dad's head. He's not very nice.
And then she went up to Marjorie. One of the better. Every Olenna scene's good, but then she went up to Marjorie and she's like, "Listen, this is what you gotta do with Tommen. You gotta seduce the shit out of him."
Yeah.
'Cause she's like, back in my day, I was gonna marry this one dude. He was ugly as fuck, and I saw the other dude. This one bitch was marrying, and she's like, "I fucked his brains out. he couldn't even walk straight the next day. He was done for.
Yeah, she's so great.
Yeah, and she was like,
she's like, I got lost on the way to my chambers and found his room. Well, needless to say, he didn't propose the next day because he couldn't walk.
And Marjorie's just sitting there. Marjorie's just like, yeah, this. So you're expecting me to do this? And she's like, yeah, you gotta go up and fuck Tommen. But she didn't. She's a lady.
No, she was very nice about the whole thing.
She went up there, and she hung out with our favorite character, Sir Pounce.
Sir Pounce,
we think that the show would be a lot better if Sir Pounce could talk, but only to Tommen. I think that'd be pretty funny.
Oh, Sir Pounce, what did you think of that ordeal?
Yeah, and Sir Pounce would be like, I do not trust her. You shouldn't listen to her anymore.
Don't be ridiculous, Sir Pounce. She loves me.
I don't trust her. She killed your brother. We don't know. Also, pet my tummy.
Rub my belly.
I'm out of meow mix.
I can't say no to you, Sir Pounce.
Sir Pounce is great. But he doesn't make an appearance the rest of the season.
Right. Damn, wait, you spoiled.
That's okay. It was on Facebook the next day.
These people, our listeners, are gonna.
Whatever.
Out.
This aired in April. That's not that big a deal.
Point. Yeah, this was. I guess we could really spoil a lot of shit.
Well, I mean, little shit like that. Like, I'm not gonna tell you like.
Little. That's huge.
Sir Pounce. Whatever.
His name is Sir Pounce.
Whatever. Joffrey was also a dick to Sir Pounce, so we're glad he's dead for that reason too. So.
Oh yeah. Marjorie
good.
was like telling me a secret. He's like, well, Joffrey wanted to skin Sir Pounce, and
Tommen had a chance right there. She'd be like, "Tell me your secret." And he's like, "My dick," and just pulls it out. But he wasn't thinking. He was all sweaty and shit. He was like taking away from her. And
he's like 12.
Right? Yeah. He has no idea.
In the books, he's like 4.
Yeah. Right. It's embarrassing how young he is in the books. In the books, they even bring that up. They're like, "Listen, we can get them married, but they can't fuck for like 10 more years. So what's the point?"
This show would be so like pedophilia friendly. Pedophile friendly if it was actually following the books. It'd be like a bunch of 13-year-olds banging each other.
Remember in Middle Ages though, like people lived to be 30.
Yeah,
that was like middle age. They were
middle-aged.
Yeah, they were pretty good. All right, so what happened after? Where did we go after that?
Tommen to the cell, right? No, to Bronn.
Yeah, Bronn
And Jaime fighting.
Bronn and Jaime are fighting. This just in, Jaime's not good at fighting anymore. It's like over.
I mean, he was doing okay.
Yeah, and then Bronn hit him with his gold hand, and he's like, "Oh, you hit a cripple." And he's like, "Oh, last time I checked, we weren't fighting by the rules since I'm fucking Bronn." And then they were like, "Hey, have you said hi to Tyrion? Like, written him a card or send him any flowers or anything?" Jaime's like, "No, I haven't got around to it." He's like, "Listen to me, bitch. When I first met Tyrion, and he was like, I'm going to be in this duel, who's my champion? He wanted you, because he knew you would come and fight and win for him." And Jaime was like, "That's so precious. I'm going to go say hi to him." So they go to the cell.
Jaime's like, "I'm going to drag my wonderful jaw over to Tyrion and just show him my jawline."
And he goes down and visits him at the cell. And it's a lot like Orange is the New Black, like in prison and stuff, but there's a lot less women, and there's just one person, and there's shit everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not like Orange is New Black, but...
At all, except he's locked up.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And then Jaime goes down there, and he even talks some shit to Jaime, and Jaime's like, "Hey, listen, nobody else likes you. You better be nice to me."
Yeah.
It's
like, don't get sassy.
Right,
It's not the time and place to get sassy.
Right. So he goes down there and visits Tyrion, and then Tyrion's like, "So, what's everybody else thinking of me?" And then Jaime's like,
It's
not a lot.
Nothing. Actually, your name hardly ever comes up.
Right. And then later in the episode, Jaime goes up and sees Cersei, and she's being a bitch somewhere, drinking, because that's like her thing. And she's getting drunk and shit. And she's talking, she's like, "Oh, you visited Tyrion, didn't you?" And Jaime's like, "Yeah, I mean, he's my brother. I fucking love him and shit." And then she goes, "He killed our son. Remember? You probably shouldn't be going down there and hang out with him and being chill and shit." And then he goes, You know he didn't do that shit." And Bronn was even like, he wouldn't have poisoned him. He would have thought of something way cooler to kill him.
Yeah, and he wouldn't even have done it, really.
Right.
He just wouldn't have done it.
Right. But, and then Cersei did something that I thought was pretty cool, where she goes, "Hey, how many people are watching Tommen right now? And he's like one inept guard. And she's like, yeah, Boros. And she's like, how about you get like 4 to watch him? And she's like, you are the Lord Commander of the King's Guard. And he was like, that's what she called him. And I'm like, damn, that was so ice cold.
Yeah,
because he's more of like a brother fucker to her. So it's like calling him like by his professional title, I thought was pretty ice cold.
Ice cold.
Yeah.
I think it might be done between them.
Mm-hmm. They might not ever bone again.
No more Jack Eyes bone.
But then we go to the wall. We go to the wall. Normal Jon Snow training people how to use swords. Yeah. Because they never get to do that. That's not in like the Night's Watch. Not even like community college for the Night Watch. They don't even do that. They don't even train them on swords or anything. And
Alistair's like, why are you training them on swords? Empty a chamber pot, you steward. Go wipe some poop up.
Yeah, right. And then he's like, they hate each other. And then there's like, Alistair's like, so, word on the street is Jon Snow wants to go have like up there and kill the mutineers in Craster's Keep. Should we let him do it? And then they're like, I have an idea. He might die. Let's let him do it. So they're going to go let him up there, but they only had volunteers, and like 4 guys volunteered at first, which like I didn't think was very good, but then they got some more. The goat volunteered.
And the goat, that's an interesting case. Mm-hmm. It's another thing where like that character exists in the book, but that's not the character from the book. It's just kind of similar in some ways. Like he cuts off Jaime's hand. Yeah. Which the goat? No, the Dothraki does it in the book, but the goat makes him do it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the goat is up at the wall now, and he can fight like a motherfucker, and he gets on Jon's good side, so he's going to the mutineers' hideout as well to do some smashing.
And they find the mutineers, and they're just drunk and boning everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's background sex.
Right. Like they're like talking. It's like this really well written script and everything. And just the background, some dude's just going at it.
In literally every single conversation, you don't hear it. All you do is see it. It's just a dude like pile driving.
It's like when you see like people put up like art and stuff in their house. And you don't like always see it, but then sometimes you see it, and they're
like catches your eye.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at that. That's like a painting of a deer or something. Nope, it's just a guy boning and getting blown and stuff in the background.
Just a rape party, no big deal.
Right, MBD.
Yeah, they're not good dudes in the Mutineer Shack. They're really bad dudes. The dude in charge, for instance, also not in the book, but he's not a very nice guy.
Right, and then they bring. It's cool because they go to the Mutineers, and guess who's there? Because, like, that's how writing works, is Bran, Jojen, Mira, and Hodor are chilling, and then they see the Mutineers and everything, and then Mira's like, we need to get out of here. And then she gets fucking hit in the head, and, like, gets knocked the fuck out.
I mean, alright, so they're up there, and Bran's like, oh, I'm going to get in Summer's skin, because I hear a baby crying. I'm going to go look at it as a wolf. And then he runs Summer straight into a pit. And they find Ghost, because Ghost is in a cage, because the Mutineers somehow got Ghost into a cage. Which, I don't know how they managed that, to be honest. So, yeah, Summer's in a pit, Ghost is in a cage, Bran is, like, dragging himself along. It's like, we can't leave without the wolves. And so Mira's gonna go sneak up on him, and she like comes around a tree and just gets smashed in the face by a sword butt.
Oh man, there was no coming back from that shit.
She can take a punch.
But the next scene, she was like fine. She's like not a mark on her or anything.
It's that
curly hair.
It's that reed blood.
Right. Yeah. So they get captured, and then by the Mutineers, and they're like, "Oh man, if you guys stick here for like 5 more minutes, you're gonna meet Jon Snow." Is that gonna happen? We don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It could happen.
So they bring the Mutineers, everybody in, and they're like, "Oh man, how you guys doing?"
Hodor gets stabbed in the leg.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that?
They're like,
that dude's getting his ass beat.
Yup. He's like, Hodor! no! And stabbed. I was like, no, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I felt sorry for Rast. I was lying. He's a piece of shit.
Right.
Totally forgot that he stabbed Hodor. That's inexcusable in my mind. You don't stab Hodor.
Right.
Ever.
And then they take him in there, and they're like, hey, kid who can't walk, that's some nice shit you got on. It's like you have like Nike and everybody else is wearing Adidas. Like, you can't be a wildling. And he goes, wait. I'm not. And then they're like, oh, Jojen just had a fucking spaz attack.
Jojen pitches a fit.
Right. He just has a spaz attack, and Mira's like, I need to help him because, like, you know, he's epileptic and we don't have that medicine yet because we're still, like...
Turns out this is still the Middle Ages.
Yeah, and we're, like, fucking boars still, so... And then he's like, oh, wait. I'm a Stark. And they're like, oh! And they're like, okay, you can, like, help him.
They're like, what? No!
It's like, no fucking way!
They all were just, like, squawking like that.
with Brit, and yeah, so
oh, shit!
But then, yeah, so they find out he's a Stark. And,
oh! I'm just picturing the whole time, like,
right, just losing their mind,
like, grabbing their junk and feel like, oh!
Oh shit!
That would be so awesome.
And then we probably are forgetting something. We didn't take notes because this is our second time watching it.
Oh,
yeah,
the baby.
Yeah, the baby. Yeah, that was great because they took the baby because they never knew what was like going on. And then they were like, and then the guy in charge is like, what will you do with the baby? And they're like, gift for the gods.
Well, just, really creepily. All the girls were just like, gift for the gods. Like a bunch of fucking creeps.
Yeah.
But, so in the books, you never know, it's kind of inferred, but you never know what happens to the babies that Craster, the boys, that he, goes and throws in
And
the
they
woods.
showed him in the old episodes, like, I think the farthest they got was Jon Snow watched him, put him outside, and then he watched one take him away, I think that was as far as we got.
You never got to, like, and did you even really see him, like...
No.
But yeah, so the White Walker took him all the way into the Land of Always Winter, which looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like, that CGI compared to Daenerys' CGI.
The Daenerys castle CGI was the worst.
That was like Godzilla status.
Yeah.
Like old Godzilla.
Yeah.
Old Godzilla.
Since the podcast has been over, we went and saw Godzilla. It wasn't very good.
Awful movie. Don't see it. It's shit.
It was like 2.5 hours of boringness, and then the final fight scene was pretty sweet. But I had to pee the entire movie because we went to Culver's before.
Speaking of which,
we went to Culver's today, and we got dessert this time. We got malts, and he got a shake, and it was
my stomach's fucked right now.
I'm so full.
I like the last 2 days, just with finals week, and just not being hungry for some reason. I just haven't eaten.
Yeah.
And so my stomach was the size of a walnut, and I just packed a lot of kale burgers down there. And
we got cheese and everything.
Totally
cheese curds. Oh, it was so good. We still, in case you were wondering, we haven't gotten sponsored by them yet.
I'm wondering why.
Yeah, I don't know why. We talk about them all the time. I was listening to our old podcast just to like get into the spirit of things, and I texted Adam and I was like, we talk about Culver's a lot.
Yeah.
Even Mary texted me that, should we talk about Culver's a lot?
It's fucking good.
Yeah, it's really good.
They got burgers, classic burgers, my kind of restaurant.
You need to go to, if you have ever been to Culver's, you need to go. I mean, we're not getting paid at this point. If we do get paid, you should still go, but you should go right now.
Let me just do it. Why wouldn't you?
The only downside is that it's in Kalamazoo, but they close at 10. Kalamazoo's not a close at 10 kind of city.
Yeah, it's all the way on 9th Street.
Which I live 2 minutes from.
You're on the quiet side of Kalamazoo.
Right, that's true.
Bunch of old people and high schoolers over here.
That's true.
Where do all these high school kids come from? Where do they go to school?
I don't know. K Central or Lord Norrick's.
Really? Is it Kalamazoo Public out here?
They have to go KPS. What do you think? A bunch of kids from Hackett are going to work there?
Yeah,
we're really going off on tangent.
They kind of look like Hackett kids. They're all clean cut and shit.
Oh yeah, because they can't have beards and everything. Yeah, because it's a Catholic school.
But
oh yeah, the land of always winter. Anywho.
Yeah. Speaking of the kids who work at Culver's.
Yeah. Right. So they go there, and then the Ice King of the White Walkers guy,
who looks really cool.
Right.
By the way,
he looks like. Awesome. I was really hoping they modeled him after like Gary Busey, but they didn't go that route. That's fine. But he was there, and then they took the baby and they put him on like this sacrificial pedestal, and the dude touched him with his fingernail and turned his eyes like White Walker ice blue.
Yeah.
So,
It was really cool.
and that was the end of the episode. And when I first saw that back in April, we were getting ready to podcast, but then my computer took a shit like 2 days after the episode aired. So I was like wondering like what was that? And sometimes I have to go to the books because either like Mary's busy and I can't text her, or Wikipedia's right there. So I go on there and I'm like, what's this all about? And they're like, people are outraged because it's not in the books. And you feel like if you read the books, you feel like you're a step ahead, and you have a leg up on everybody. So when they do something that's not in the books, it's kind of like it pisses you off.
It's a slap in the face.
I didn't put all this time in reading the books, getting 4 years ahead of everybody else, just to find out stuff that nobody knows. That's not cool.
I kind of like it.
I like it too. I mean, it's just I'm kind of conflicted because like I like being on the cutting edge of this story, but at the same time, I still want to be surprised by the show. So it's like it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird
yeah. See, the
relationship.
thing is, Weston just cannot be like satisfied with just what it is.
No,
he's a picky bitch.
Right, that's true.
he needs what he needs.
I remember when I finished reading Dance with Dragons, how sad I was. Like the last 100 pages, I took like forever to read because I didn't want to figure out.
I know.
Yeah, we can't say how it ended, but Jar Jar Binks, but
Miso Jar Jar Binks.
Miso. I love the Valyrian language. And then they use Valyrian, and then on the sign they write "kill all the masters." I'm like, what language are you using? It's like,
make up your goddamn mind.
You can't it's like in World War II shows when all the Nazis they'll start their sentences with German, something in German, and then they just start talking in English. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like when they're fighting and yelling at each other on the line, they're like, "Ifenhausen!" and they get captured and they're like, "Oh, hey."
Right.
I'm just a German, doing German things. What up?
I think so. I think that covers the episode, doesn't it?
That pretty much covers it.
Yeah, I think we didn't miss anything this time. We didn't miss any main character. I'm cycling through all the main characters in my head.
No, we're good.
I think we hit it.
Pretty complete episode.
Right.
That covered a lot of story arcs.
Mm-hmm. It's setting up for a really big episode the next episode.
Yeah.
So
which will be uploaded tonight as well. So
yeah, we're gonna do Netflix. It does. They just when they do a new season of a show, they just do the whole season at once and let you watch it. We'll probably do that. We'll just post it as we record it. I'll send it out into the internet. We'll see how it goes, and then probably every week we'll do 2 until
till the end.
Till the end, yeah.
Yeah,
So
baby.
although we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so we have an odd number, I think. So yeah, we have 7 episodes left. 6 more after this, so
okay.
we'll figure it out. And then this one's not too long, but then the last 2 episodes are gonna be
this one's pretty long. That's long as I thought it would be.
Yeah,
half an hour is about right though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
Right. I think we started to lose some people, and it was an hour long. That's way too long.
Yeah.
I can't remember what we talked about that took so long.
We just went off on a bunch of tangents.
I think so. Our Culver's tangent was only a minute long this time, so we did pretty good.
And it's one of those things, if you're ironing your clothes or something, throw on the podcast.
Right.
You don't want to watch the video the whole time, but if you're...
Right. Because also, my best friend actually made some new backgrounds for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're really good.
Nice.
I think he made 2 of them, but maybe I can spread them out or whatever. We could use them. Maybe he wants to make more. I don't know. What's his free time like? So, but I think that's it for episode 4 of season 4. Do you have anything else? Are you good?
I'm good.
Nice.
Man.
All right.
We're signing off.
That's signing off. We're gonna get a drink, take a real quick bathroom break, watch episode 5, podcast 5. You can. I don't know if this will be up by then, but we'll try our best to get it up. But
maybe it will be. I don't know why you're even saying this because you won't know until you hear it.
Yeah, and you won't know until after it's been uploaded.
You won't know if this is not up until it's up.
So. I have to remember how I posted it, but we'll figure it out. So
hey, don't worry about it.
Right.
Let's rock.
Right. All right. Well, this is for episode 4, season 4, Weston and Westeros. I'm Weston.
Oh, I'm Adam. I'm Adam.
Do you have some problems? All right. We'll see you next episode. Thanks, guys.